Final Destination Bloodlines has finally arrived. This one is directed by Lipovsky and Adam Stein. These are the two guys that brought you the film Freaks that came out back in 2019, starring Emile Hirsch, which I've heard nothing but good things about. And this is the 6th Final Destination film, and we waited 14 years since the 5th film. Does this one pay off? Let's find out. Plagued by a violent, recurring nightmare, college student Stephanie heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle and save her family from the grisly demise that inevitably awaits them all. So when it boils down to the Final Destination franchise, I actually think it's one of the more consistent horror franchises out there. When people talk about like consistent horror franchises, you think, Scream or Evil Dead. No one really thinks about Final Destination because I think actually like the first 3 films are all very solid. And then you get to the 4th film, which is a big big drop in quality. And then you get to the 5th film, which is a rising quality from that. And then when you get to this one, like I said, we waited 14 years for another Final Destination movie. And a part of me was excited for sure because I only seen the teaser for this movie, which showed only one scene, which I thought was very creative, just only showing one scene. And the early reactions came out, and I was like, this is sounding really good then. But again, I tried to stay away from the trailers. The only time I really watched a trailer, like I said before, was that teaser, because I wanted to stay away from all the trailers for this. I usually try to do that with horror films nowadays. But with this one, I was excited, but also a little nervous that it might suck. Because, sequels that come out like years later after a previous film don't always have the best track record, if you really think about it. But with this one, I wanted to hang on to some optimism and maybe see if they might win me over. And with this one, distinctly, I think Final Destination Bloodlines is the best in the series. Now, I'm still taking some time to think about it because I love the 5th one. But I think this one might be my favorite. So let's just get right down to business here. First off, I actually think all the performances were actually really, really good, especially our main girl who plays Stephanie. I thought she did a really good job. She basically plays as this character who has, nightmares about this person that basically has the premonition of what we see, in the opening scene, which I won't spoil. It's a pretty freaking cool opening scene and very gnarly. It pretty much is like that for all the Final Destination movies. But with this one, I was like, yo, this is really intense. So I think the main girl did a really good job. I thought the guy who played her brother, Charlie, he did a really good job here. Like I said, all the performances I thought were very solid. And also that one scene with Tony Todd, I was crying. When I saw Tony Todd on screen, I cried. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. We miss you every single day there, my good sir. We miss you. But regardless, yeah, that one scene, I love seeing that one scene with Tony Todd. It made me very, very happy. And it, like I said, it made me tear up. I thought all the kills were really, really creative. Little problem I do have with that, though. I mean, I'll get more into this, and I'll actually talk a little bit more about this in my negatives, because there is one little problem I do have with these kills. But at the same time, it's kind of a common problem with this franchise. But I'll get to it here in a little bit. And also the story they decided to tell here. This is kind of expanding more on the lore of Final Destination and death and where it's supposed to how it targets each victim. And I think they did a really cool job in a way to kind of explain it. I think they did a really good job, kind of answering our questions. How does it do this? I mean, it always felt so random in the other ones, but this one, it actually kind of felt like they really expanded on that. And they did a really, really good job with that. The movie's also really funny at times. There's a couple of characters in this movie that are genuinely really funny. And it's a really well made film, really well shot. The sound design, the sound mixing, I thought they did a really good job with that. And I thought the camera work for the most part was actually really, really solid. But that kind of does lean into a little bit of a couple little negatives I have with this film. These are just a couple minor little nitpicks. First off, I think the editing in certain spots was kind of choppy. Like, there were a couple of times, like, in the editing process where the film would just go like chop, 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 and I was just like, oh no, this is bad. Like, it was once like distinctly in the opening scene, where it just kept going cut, 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 and I was starting to feel it was starting to feel weird to me. But like, it's not like, that's not really the common problem I have with these, like, that is with this franchise, but it's just, that was something I noticed, like, in the opening scene, that I think it was a bit choppy when it came to the editing. But ultimately, honestly, my biggest gripe with this movie, like, even though, like I said, this is a common problem with this franchise, but I am used to it. But at the same time, I kind of feel like they should do this better. I think some of the kills are a bit CGI heavy, and some of it is very, very noticeable to me. Now, look, the kills I thought were great. Like, the kills were great. Very creative kills. But I do think some of them are a little too CGI heavy, where it's like you look at certain kills in this movie and you can tell it is absolute CGI. Like, you can look at some kills even in like the third, like in any of the rest of the franchise, you can tell quite a few of them are, like, you can tell with some of them that they're CGI. And I think, but why I think that's kind of an issue with this one, the CGI in this film is very, very spotty and pretty bad in points. Like, there are times where it's like, oh, pretty cool. But then like, when you look at like certain other things that occur in this film, like in regards to the CGI, it's like, ooh, that's very noticeable CGI. But besides those little nitpicks that I have with this film, I love Final Destination Bloodlines. This is by far the best one. Again, I'm still thinking about it, either between this one or 5, but I think they're really close. But if you're a Final Destination fan, you gotta go see this. And also to support Tony Todd. May the man rest in peace. But if you guys are fans of this franchise like me, go see this movie. You're gonna have a good time with this. I am going to give Final Destination Bloodlines an A-. Like I said, if you guys are fans of this franchise, you got to go see this. And I honestly hope after this one that we get more. I do actually want to see more Final Destination films, to be completely honest. After this one, I was like, you know what? If they want to do more, I'm open for it. So bring it on. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of Final Destination Bloodlines, and what is your ranking of the franchise, because I do plan to this weekend to do a ranking of all 6 of the movies, so look forward to that if I get around to doing it. But yeah, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, that's it for me tonight. I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.